All right, young leaders, if we were to sit down and talk about humility, have a cup of coffee, and just share our hearts about leadership, I would love to have that conversation. I think that humility is so undervalued, wrongly interpreted in our society. When we think about humility, you've probably heard this quote often that says, humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking less often of yourself. It's not that we're putting ourselves down, um, but it's that we're consistently trying to get our self thoughts or consistently thinking about ourselves out of our system. So humility is not promoted. It's not glorified in this society. It's not going to be written about in Forbes or Fortune 500 for the most part. But I think when you think about a leader who you want to follow, typically they're humble. They're someone that you want to get behind because they're not self-promoting. They don't talk about themselves all the time. They're not arrogant, even though we all struggle with arrogance. But that's not typically who they tend to be. So let's talk about humility. When we think about humility, I don't want you to think about failure. I don't want you to think about, because the meaning of to be humble is to be small. So it's not, hey, you have small winnings, or it's not that you consistently look to fail. In fact, I think it's the opposite. I think it's about working hard. And then as you work hard, you're going to receive some success. And humility really is about, what do you do with that success? How do you live your life with that success? And as you're promoted in a restaurant and you're beginning to walk in leadership, you begin to get a position. And the challenge with a position is people get trapped in a position where they think that they're more valuable than they are, or they think more highly of themselves than they should. And then all of a sudden, that person, nobody wants to follow that person, right? But humility is like a Mother Teresa, right? Who gave up some things, and she went and she lived among the poor in Calcutta, India. And she was a nun and lived and bandaged wounds and took care of other people. Not because she was a failure, but rather she was a success, gave those things up. Now, does that mean that's how you have to live? Absolutely not. That's an example. Did you know you can be an example of humility and be a star quarterback? Did you know you can be the next American Idol and be humble? Did you know you could be the next Elon Musk and be humble? I really have enjoyed following Michael Phelps's career. I think that he is one of the greatest athletes, if not the greatest, maybe outside of Michael Jordan, to ever live. And here's what I think about Michael. When Michael got on that podium, do you think Michael ever had to go over there and get his own medals and award himself his own medal? Did he have to crown himself king, champion? No. Everybody knew that he's the best swimmer. Why? Because there was results. He put in the hard work. He succeeded. His opportunity, humility, is now after he has succeeded. How is he going to live his life? It would be foolish for him to be a great athlete and know he's going to win and stop short and try to be humble and let somebody beat him. That's idiotic. That's not humility, right? So humility isn't losing on purpose or making people feel better about themselves so you can feel small. No, it's how you respond after your success. Or it's not consistently thinking about success and wanting to be the best, but it's about caring for others and leading in a life in a way that make others want to follow your example. Live humbly. Now, there's challenges in our society because our society is a social media influencer society. It's, hey, watch my videos and get my likes. But I love this saying. I want you to seek not attention, but respect, because respect lasts longer. Do not seek attention, seek respect, because it lasts longer. And in a day and age where we do outrageous things just to get views, I want you to do something outrageous And I want you to live a life of humility. My mom one day when I was a teenager, and I'll never forget this, I was bragging hardcore about something. I was so proud of myself. And my mom was over there cooking dinner. She stops and she looks up and she says, Paul, let another praise you and not your own lips. And I just stopped and I was like, okay, you're right. Like I am bragging about myself and I'm patting myself on my back really hard right now. Because here's the deal. Michael Phelps doesn't have to walk around with medals all the time. I don't know, maybe he does. But now he has a platform to live humbly and to make a difference that way. And I promise you, in this organization, if you work hard, so how do you live humbly? Work hard, admit when you're wrong, and let other people praise you. Because I promise you, when you do those things, that that your excellence will shine through, and that other people will see the value of who you are. All right, so here's my question today. What makes living humbly so hard? What is the challenge? Why are we so prideful? What are we seeking? So as you're with your table there, I want you to chat around that. I hope you have some good discussion. Live humbly.